Nsigile konoro filiro mali beti ye konoro fili bebo ngono metanga jere sport metamizenga mali ganyina bubu.
Chers joueurs, dans un souci de transparence, Malibet souhaite vous informer qu'à compter du 1er février 2026, une nouvelle disposition légale entre en vigueur au Mali concernant les jeux. Conformément à la réglementation en vigueur, un prélèvement légal de 10% sera désormais appliqué sur les gains des joueurs. Cette mesure est issue d'une décision des autorités compétentes et s'inscrit dans le cadre de l'encadrement du secteur des jeux. Chez Malibet, notre engagement reste le même, vous offrir une expérience de jeu simple, sécurisée et transparente avec un service client toujours à votre écoute. Malibet, encore plus fort.
The President of the Transition, His Excellency General Assimi Goïta, Head of State, received National Youth Council (CNG) last Monday. The details in this program. The Prime Minister, Head of the Government, General Abdoul, received Joe Gomez Cravino, Special Representative of the European Union in the Sahel, in audience last Tuesday, first in this edition. At the international level, the Reverend J.C. Jackson, America's most influential black figures in the years between the civil rights crusade of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the election of Barack Obama, died last Tuesday. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to English World News from Maliba TV, the web of reference. First of all, I wish you a happy month of Ramadan. The President of the Transition, His Excellency General Assimi Goïta, Head of State, received the National Youth Council (CNG) on Monday, the 16th of February 2026, at the Kuluba Palace on the occasion of the New Year's wishes ceremony of Malian youth to the head of the state. The ceremony was attended by the Prime Minister, the President of the National Transitional Council (NTC), the Minister of Youth and Sports, in charge of civil instruction and citizen construction, as well as members of the government and institutional leaders. Upon his arrival in the world, the President of the Transition was welcomed with thunderous applause from the youth. The President of the National Youth Council, Mr. Souri Ibrahim Sisi, presented the wishes of the Malian youth to the President of the Transition, highlighting the movement's efforts to restore Mali's place. He expressed the youth support for the President's actions while presenting the NYC's achievements, including mobilizations and awareness campaigns. Tributes were also paid to the ministries for their support. Malian youth expressed their honor at being supported by the transition authorities and reaffirmed their loyalty and readiness to support government actions, particularly the implementation of the PNV, local content, and the Mali 2063 vision. The NYC offered its support and requested a head office. President of the Transition, General Assimi Goïta, praised Malian youth efforts towards the advent of Mali Kura. He thanks them for the presence and engagement of the government, particularly in managing the fuel crisis. He recalled that youth are key players in the country's refoundation process and that the nation counts on them, while also announcing that 2026 is placed under the sign of health, peace, and national unity, with initiatives underway to prepare the next generation and strengthen value action, education. The President of the Transition, General Assimi Goïta, urged Malian youth to continue supporting the government's effort, emphasizing that the success of the transition depends on the success of the youth. He calls for vigilance in the face of threats and encourage young people to maintain their patriotic spirit, making 2026 a year of consolidating achievements and concrete results, according to the Presidency of Mali. The Prime Minister, Head of Government, General Abdoul, received Joe Gomez Cravino, Special Representative of the European Union in the Sahel, in audience on Tuesday, the 17th of February 2026. Introduced by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, His Excellency Abdoul Diop, Mr. João Gomes Cravino was received in audience by the head of government. Accompanied by the head of the European Union delegation in Mali, Mr. Cravino presented the European Union's new approach to the Sahel, focused on a strengthening dialogue and cooperation on security, the fight against terrorism and socio-economic resilience. The European Union aims to revitalize its relations with the Sahel countries. Mr. Cravino assured that the guiding principles of Malian government action will be respected and that the European Union will provide the tools to implement the Mali 2063 vision. The Malian Prime Minister welcomed the visit of the European Union Special Representative for the Sahel, emphasizing that Africa and Europe must find common ground despite their differences. He affirmed that Mali is open to all partners who respect its sovereignty and interests. He called on Mr. Cravino to become the kind of ambassador who helps certain European Union countries understand that Mali represents a struggle for human dignity, according to the Prime Minister's office. The President of the Transition, His Excellency General Assimi Goïta, Head of State, received the general report of the National Conference on the Situation of Women, Children and Families on Thursday, the 19th of February 2026. The document was officially presented to him by the Minister of the Promotion of Women, Children and Families, Mrs. Djeneba Sanogo Diarra, accompanied by a large delegation including members of the National Organizing Committee of the Office of the National Platform of Women of Mali, ASS section. The transition authorities are prioritizing women, children and families are pillars of national renewal. The National Conference resulting in 459 recommendations and 349 actions to strengthen the family units, empower women, and protect children from violence. After the documents was presented to the President of the Transition, Minister Mrs. Diarra Djeneba Sanogo emphasized that the National Conference on Women, Children and Families is a national process funded by the Malian budget with the support of the President and the Prime Minister. She praised the contribution of the Malian Armed Forces and stated that this initiative marks a major step toward improving the living conditions of women, children and families in line with the Head of the State's vision for a new Mali. The President of the Transition declared 2026-2027 the year of education and culture, highlighting the role of women in transmitting values, fostering social cohesion and promoting national stability. The submitted reports marks a step toward concrete actions to strengthen the well-being of women, children and families, which is essential for the sustainable development of Mali, according to the Presidency of Mali. His Excellency Mr. Seydou Coulibaly, Plenipotentiary and Extraordinary Ambassador of the Republic of Mali in the Republic of Angola, presented a credential to His Excellency Mr. João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola, on Thursday, the 19th of February 2026. During the audience granted to him following the protocol ceremony, the Malian diplomat conveyed to the Angolan President the warm fraternal greetings of His Excellency General Assimi Goïta, President of the Transition Head of State. We discussed efforts against terrorism and proposed strengthening bilateral relations, particularly in mining, through softer cooperation. Ambassador Coulibaly advocated for high-level bilateral visits and thanks Angola for its hospitality towards the Malian people, while praising the excellent cooperative relations between the two countries. The Angolan Head of State, Mr. Lourenço, highlighted the efforts of the traditional authorities in the fight against armed terrorist groups and reiterated his country's support and assistance in this fight with a view to promoting the development of both countries within the framework of strengthened African solidarity. He concluded by reaffirming his country's interest in developing its relations of friendship and bilateral cooperation with Mali in all areas of common interest, according to the Information and Press Office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. At the international level, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, America's most influential black figure in the years between the civil rights crusades of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the election of Barack Obama died last Tuesday when he was 84 years old. In a statement, his family said that Mr. Jackson died peacefully but did not give a cause. Mr. Jackson was celebrated for his impassioned oratory and populist vision of a rainbow coalition of the poor and forgotten, pick up the mantle of Dr. King after his assassination in 1968. He ran for president twice, but he never achieved ever the commanding moral statue of Dr. King or the ultimate political triumph attained by Mr. Barack Obama, who said on BBC that Jackson was a true giant and he stood on his shoulders in becoming America's first black president. Tribute flow in for Mr. Jackson, including from President Trump, who called him a good man and a force of nature, and former President Joseph Biden, who described him as a man of God and of the people. The Reverend Al Sharpton, the civil rights leader, described Mr. Jackson as his mentor. He was a consequential and transformative leader who changed his nation and the world, Mr. Sharpton said in a statement. J.C. Jackson lobbied Pope John Paul II and the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev to revoke South Africa's apartheid government. He called on Harvard University to divest from the country, and it was there when Nelson Mandela was released from Robben Island in 1990s after serving 27 years as a political prisoner. Just as Mr. Jackson, who died on Tuesday, becoming synonymous with the civil rights movement in the United States, he was esteemed through Africa, particularly in his vigorous activism against the apartheid regime in South Africa, according to the New York Times. U.S. President Donald Trump said he was considering a limited military strike against Iran to pressure its leaders into agreeing to a deal to limit its nuclear program. The president made the remark in response to reporters' question hours after officials raised the possibility of a strike. On Thursday, Trump said the world will know in the next 10 days probably whether a deal will be reached or if the U.S. will take military action. In recent weeks, the U.S. has increased its military presence in the region. The U.S. and its European allies suspect Iran in moving toward developing a nuclear weapon Iran has consistently denied. U.S. and Iranian officials met in Switzerland to discuss the issue and said progress had been made in the talks. Speaking on Friday, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Iran was preparing a draft agreement and will submit it to U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff in the coming days. The Geneva talks took place as U.S. forces continue to bolster their presence around Iran. This deployment includes the world's largest warship, the USS General IV, which appears to be heading toward the region. The aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln is also deployed, joining a growing contingent of destroyer, combat ships, and fighter jets, according to BBC. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of English World News from Maliba TV, the web of reference. I thank you for joining me.